ॐ श्री गणेशाय नमः। ॐ श्री सरस्वत्यै नमः। ॐ श्री गुरुभ्यो नमः। श्रीराम जय जय राम। 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 जय जय राम। जय जय राम। ॐ रामाय रामभद्राय रामचन्द्राय वेधसे रघुनाथाय नाथाय सीतायाः पतये नमः। ॐ श्रीरामचन्द्राय नमः। अतुलितबलधामं हेमशैलाभदेहं दनुजवनकृशानुं ज्ञानिनामग्रगण्यं सकलगुणनिधानं वानराणामधीशं रघुपतिप्रियभक्तं वातजातं नमामि। रघुपतिप्रियभक्तं वातजातं नमामि। ॐ श्री हनुमते नमः। ॐ ध्यायामि चिन्मयानन्दं गुरुदेवं महामतिं प्रेमपूर्णं क्रियाशीलं सदा लोकहिते रतं कृपालुं सुन्दराकारं समर्थं सत्यदर्शिनं वाचा तत्त्वप्रकाशिन्या शोकमोहविनाशिनं। ॐ श्रीचिन्मयसद्गुरवे नमः। ॐ नमः श्री तुलसीदास सद्वरिष्ठाय धीमते पूरितं हृदयं येन रामप्रेमामृतेन मे। ॐ श्री तुलसीदासाय नमः। Hari Om. A very, very warm welcome to the current series. Bhagavan Sant Tulsi Das ji is so wonderful that he prepares our mind to listen to the great Grantha. We had mentioned this in the last class, in the previous series. I had mentioned this earlier also, that I am staying in a village away from Mysore city, where I am completely surrounded by fields. And it is such a beautiful experience to watch them prepare the field for a crop. All of us have experienced this. At least we know about it. Experience means we know about it. The first thing a farmer has to do is first remove all the overgrown, unwanted plants in the field. Clean the field. And after cleaning the field, what does he do? He plows the field. Why does he plow the field? All those plants which he had removed, the roots are down below. So he has to plow the field and remove those roots of the weeds which are there. And then we all know the farming procedures. Very beautifully they will form a line. A beautiful line is dug. And then in certain particular crop, a particular farm material, a plastic cover is put. There is a small elevated portion, and then again an elevated portion, and again an elevated portion. Now in the elevated portion, they cover it with a plastic, huge long plastic sheet. And then there is a particular machine which they run, and then they press that and a hole is formed in that plastic sheet, and very beautifully in a perfect straight line the holes are made. And that particular hole, and it picks up the mud from there and throws it out. And then the seeds are put in that hole, and then that little mud which is kept away is put and then closed, and then they press it so that it is firm underneath. And then they also put the water pipe, what we call it as drip irrigation. So that pipe is properly put, and that holes in that pipe, where the water has to come, it should properly be in that particular spots. All that they do, it is connected to the main pipe, and then they turn on the motor, and then little by little. You cannot bring a hose pipe and pour water on that. There is a particular procedure. All that they do. And then slowly you will find, slowly the sprouts come out. Very rarely certain sprout doesn't come. There they again dig up, remove that particular seed and put a fresh seed. Again it shoots up. And then slowly the plant grows. And even while the plant is growing, they make sure that on the sides in the pathway also the weeds are not there. They have to constantly remove the weeds. And then make sure the water is properly served to the plant. And time and again sometimes you have to put some, before that plastic, actually what they bring some 2 or 3 tractors of manure. While they, immediately after they plow, they put the manure and again they mix the mud to that in the whole area. And then the plastic sheet, and then whatever the procedure I told you. And then they have to patiently wait. That today if I sow the seeds, tomorrow it will not sprout, and day after tomorrow it will not give me fruit or vegetable. Is it not? Patiently they have to wait. And certain plants grow very fast. I had mentioned this earlier in our earlier house where we had sown bean seeds, lady's finger, okra seeds, and then brinjal seeds. Beans comes out very fast, and it also gives the product. Beans comes out very early. Maybe in 15-20 days you will see beans growing. Whereas in lady's finger it is not that easy. Even though seeds are put in the same period of time, same day in fact, the sprouting of the plants are very slow, and probably brinjal much slower, and the brinjal to give fruit will take lot of time. Seeds are sown at the same time. Think so much of, please note, so much of preparation is done and it is also maintained so that at the right time the particular plants give the right amount volume of fruit, whatever is the product. Right now is a very interesting thing. We have at this side in the front of the ashram here, he has put what is called as bottle gourd. Some 2.5 acres of land, he has put bottle gourd. And all these procedures have to be taken care. And 4 days back, one big tempo comes and he harvests bottle gourd and the whole tempo is full. How does the tempo get full? Because it has been taken care very well, the field has been prepared very well, time and again the weeds have to be removed, unwanted irrelevant plants have to be removed, that just grows up. So many plants grow up because some seed, some moisture, this one would be there in the mud and in the manure also. From that some plants grow up. So all that have to be removed. This way the field has to be prepared well. Only then the reap will be very good, full of the tempo. Similarly is our mind. Where is our mind? Our mind is disarrayed everywhere. It has gone all over. And so many wrong thoughts, so many wrong attitudes have developed in us. When the mind is thus contaminated with all weeds and wrong thoughts and wrong attitudes, however beautiful Ramakatha may be, it cannot grow. Just as an unprepared field, the seeds will be wasted. It has to be well protected in the corners in case of fields, so that cattle and other goat, and there are plenty of cattle and sheep here, they all should not come and eat away all the plants. And we also have, very interestingly, all around in our ashram, we have peacocks. Lot of peacocks are there. They will come and pick up the seed and eat away. So all those have to be taken care. Similarly, our mind has to be well prepared. And the first important part is humility. And to gain humility, you have to undergo lot of cleansing process, digging process. Digging meaning what? Digging our own and thinking, texture of thinking, pattern of thinking, which actually is, there is no pattern. It has grown wildly like the field before the preparation. Tulsi Dasi, all through his Vandana Prasanga, you will find he has, by mentioning so many aspects of this Ramakatha, he is preparing our mind. Therefore, it is very much important for us to go through these properly, so that we are also ready for receiving the glorious Grantha. And when thus the field is prepared, the crop will give us the best result. When the mind is prepared, the very Ramakatha knowledge will give us excellent result, whereby our mind will gain the transformation. Earlier it was Yadva Tadva. Like in the last Doha, Tulsi Dasi said, "Main puni nij gur sun suni, कथा सो सूकर खेत, समुझी नहीं तसी बालपन, तब अति रहे अचेत." My Guru tried to prepare my mind so much. He gave us all the knowledge. He gave us, practical aspects of the Chaturvida, Sadhana Chatushtaya. What are they? Viveka, Vairagya, Shamadhi, Shakya, Sampatti. 6. What are they? Shama, Dama, Uparamati, Tiksha, Shraddha, Samadhana. And then Mumukshutvam. All these, he prepared our mind and tried to, honestly speaking, he did his best to make us an adhikari. Tulsi Das ji says, he gave me that katha so many times. And samujhi nahi. I never understood why. My mind was not prepared. And he says, his guru, Narahari Anandji, he had told that Rama Katha several times. But Balapana, I was such a small boy with so much of distractions of the mind, restless mind. Like modern younger boys, they are so restless. Why modern? Every boy is restless only. And if he is fully at rest and if he is not active, then you have to get him checked. Tabati rahimu acheta. At that time, my mind was not. Acheta meaning what? Unconscious is the meaning. Actually, I told you in the last class. Acheta means unprepared mind. Where the mind is not available. Unavailable mind. It was. Shrota Vakta Jnana Nidhi, where the katha has been heard by Shrota, great listeners who are also great jnanis. Listeners always need not be ajnanis like you and me. We are ajnanis because we are so much distracted. But he says, Jnana Nidhi, all of them, Shrota and Vakta, the one who teaches and the one who listens, both are Jnana Nidhis. They are all great wise people with lot of knowledge. Katha Ram ke Gudha. What do they speak? Ram ke Gudha Katha. A very, very deep, knowledge-filled Katha of Bhagavan Sri Ramchandra ji. Kimi samujhi mein jiva jada kalimal grasita vimudha. At that time, vimudha I am. I could not gain it properly. Now, see, we do this also for our children when they go to school. We tell them, listen carefully, understand. If you don't understand, ask the teacher. Isn't it? And then as soon as they come home, the teacher anyway gives homework. First thing, sit down, freshen up, sit down and do your homework. Or if there is a practice that you go to play, come back and then do it, okay, go back, go play, freshen up, enjoy the play, come back with a fresh mind, again freshen up yourself and then sit down. And then study. If you don't understand, ask the parents. And then understand properly. And in some cases the parents may say, write it 2-3 times, you will understand. Is it not? In our Sandipani Sadhanalaya also such practices were told. I will tell you a few. So, such practices are given again and again, again and again, again and again. Why? So that every time I read, every time I study, newer understanding comes. Newer way of thinking comes. With my experience day to day, again further more understanding gets revealed. Therefore, one reading is not sufficient. Most of the time, while we are reading or while we are listening, our mind is not present. Therefore, again and again practice is required. Therefore, Acharya ji again and again says, be careful. I was like that. Now what I am doing? I am writing Ramakatha. Why? So that grasasi. So that I can understand it more, grasp it more. He further continues. Tadapi kahi gura barahi bara. 31st Chaupai I am reading. Please take if you have a book, please look into that. तदपि कहीं गुर बारहि बारा समुझि परी कछुमति अनुसारा भाषा बद्ध कर भी मैं सोई मोरे मन प्रबोध जेहि होई जस कछु बुद्धि विवेक बल मेरे तस कहियऊँ हिय हरि के प्रेरे निज संदेह मोह भ्रम हरनी करऊँ कथा भव सरिता तरनी. We will stop here. And from the next, the topic changes. Therefore, we will understand up to here today. Tadapi kahi gura barahi bara. Gura, in the Loka Bhasha, Guru is also pronounced as Gura in Audhi Bhasha. Therefore, even though my mind was dull, even though he used that word, what is that? Acheta. Rahimu acheta. Even though my mind was absolutely unavailable, vimudha. Vimudha is very bad. When we say mudha, we get charged, isn't it? We get offended. He claims himself to be vimudha. Kalimala grasita. Vimudha. I have taken what? Kalimala. All unwanted things I have grown in my mind. Vimudha I was. Tadapi, in spite of it, kahi gura barahi bara, again and again he taught. That is the glory of our Guru Parampara. Isn't it? So many times they will teach, and without any sign. Modern teachers are so impatient, isn't it? They will only once they will tell, what are you doing in the class? And then they will shout in front of the class. The child will not even want to ask a question. Why? He will shout at him in front of the class. And in the Grama schools, they even use wrong words also. Very bad. Teachers must be very careful. Isn't it? Barahi bara. With all patience, more than patience, love. Love towards the Shishyas. That is the greatest, what do you call it as? Impressed, they call. That is the greatest impress they have. That is the greatest fund they have. That is the greatest investment. What is that? Love and patience. In any teaching, in any understanding and knowledge, love and patience are very important. Barahi bara, samuchi pari kachu mati anusara. According to my evolution of the mind and intellect, kachu, little, from whatever he has told, kachu, samuchi, I understood a little. Bhasha baddha karabi mein soi. With whatever little I have understood, and with Bhasha Baddha, in the Loka Bhasha, Avadhi Bhasha, Karabi mein soi, whatever little I have understood, I will try to write. I will want to write, not try to write, want to write. See, there is another way of thinking. Try to is a very wrong way of doing things. I want to do it and I will do it. Because Gurudev used to say, when Gurudev took Viveka Chudamani for us, when we were in the course, he even asked one of the brahmachari to get up and say, come here. And then he kept, he had a small clock. He kept his clock. Now, try to take this clock. So the brahmachari, what is that to try to take? He took the clock. He said, no, I did not ask you to take the clock. Oh. Again the clock, that timepiece was. Try to take the clock. The brahmachari was wondering, what is he trying to tell me? And then again he took the clock. He said, I did not ask you to take the clock. I asked you to try to take the clock. Then it was like a jerk for all of us. Then he took his hand near the clock and then he trying. Meaning what? He was not taking for the third time, and he said, try to take the clock. The message here is just do it. You know what is it? Slogan for Nike shoes. Just do it. Similarly, knowledge, you just have to grab it. You just have to learn. Bhasha baddha karabime soyi. With that little knowledge, whatever I have gained from the master, I will now write. I will write. More mana prabodha jahi hoi. My mind. More mana prabodha. With that experience, satsang experience with my master, whatever I have learnt, I will now write. You know, we had, in our course, a particular topic or particular text would be taken in the morning, Bhagavad Gita in the afternoon, and then evening we would be given one topic or one shloka to speak. And the time which we were given was only 3 minutes. And 3 minutes used to be such a big time. You would feel, why? Within 1 minute our topic is over. We don't know how to present it. We have not been trained that way. That is a training, basically. That is a training. How to speak. See, if you have to speak for 1 hour, maybe it is easier to speak. But to speak that little topic in just 2 minutes or 3 minutes is very difficult, because you have to first put down the points, what you want to speak, that particular gist of that particular topic. Then having written down, you have to arrange the points which you have made. And in that arranged points, again you have to make sure that you cannot speak too much. You have got only 3 minutes more. Therefore, some brahmacharis used to close the door and then practice it in the room. 3 minutes talk. Think. It is so difficult, not so easy. Very many people, what he speaks, he doesn't know how to speak also. Out of there, if they are asked to speak for 5 minutes, they can't speak, they'll run away. I have seen people. Therefore, what we need to understand is, we are not, great people right now. Right now we are students. Therefore, we have to use all methods to actually understand at the initial stage. And for understanding, this writing is very, very helpful. And therefore, Bhasha baddha karabime soyi, mere man prabodha jahi hoi. By writing so, mere man prabodha hoi. Through that jahi, my mind will become more, knowledgeable. My mind will get revealed by the actual facts. More and more we will be able to understand. Jasa kachu buddhi viveka balamore, kachu viveka buddhi. Now look at that. He says, to the best of my ability. Buddhi, intelligence. Viveka, ability to discriminate and understand it rightly. Bala, bala means what? Strength. Strength of the knowledge that I have gained from my master. With that strength, jasa kachu, whatever little I have done, tasa kahiya hari ke prere. With the inspiration, hari ke prere. Prere means prerana. Prerana is what? With the inspiration of Hari, here Ramchandra ji, tasa kahiya. Without, here meaning what? With my heart I will write. Nija sandeha moha brahmaharani. By doing so, by writing the Harikatha, Nija sandeham. What? See, when I am writing Harikatha, Katha of Ramchandra ji, I cannot write anything and everything anywhere and everywhere. Is it not? I have to first clear the facts. So, clear the facts meaning what? I have to understand the Katha properly. I should have the right knowledge of the katha. And after, at the end of the katha, the very common saying, in the Tamil Bhasha, my Matru Bhasha, because I have been with that in my childhood, those are still there in my brain. Vidiya Vidiya Ramayanam Kettu, Seedeke Raman Chittappa. Like that, the person who sat in the Rama Katha overnight kathas. And morning he said, Chittappa means father's younger brother. Rama is Sita's father's younger. Oh, Rama. Why? He had not learned, he had not received at all properly. Must be sleeping. Like many of us do in Vedanta classes. Is it not? And suddenly when somebody laughs, what happened? Isn't it? Therefore he says, Nija sandeha mohi brahmaharani, for the sake of removal of Nija sandeha, all doubts. Why doubts? Because maybe my mind would have been weak at that time. While my teacher was teaching, I might not have heard properly. Therefore, to clarify. Nija sandeha moha brahma harani. Brahma, delusion, harani. All sandeha and brahma. Sandeha, doubts. Brahma, delusion. Harani. Karam katha bhava sarita tarani. I will now, you might be wondering how many times he has told that. When will he start? He will start, don't worry. He will prepare our mind first. Therefore, don't keep wondering when will he start katha, when will he start katha. All this he is doing not only for himself as he says, but for our minds to be prepared. Therefore, be with him. Karam katha bhava sarita harani. Sarita harani. Sarita means river. Bhava sarita, the river of samsara, bhava. Karam katha, I will now write so that I will be able to cross over. He is not worried about the people. Very, very interesting, isn't it? Earlier also we saw, now look at that. Bala, buddhi, viveka. Earlier he said, what is that? Swanta sukhaya tulasi raghunata ghata. Swanta sukhaya. I am doing it for my joy. So he has addressed the mind. Bhavasaka. More mana prabodha jahi hoi. My mind becomes clear. Meaning what? My intelligence, with the intelligence, I get the clarity in the katha. And later, at the end of this Balakanda, we will say, Nijagira Pavana. At that time, he addresses his watch. Vak Shakti. So, Mana, Buddhi and Vacha, all the three are addressed. He uses all the three. And now, Tulsi Das ji talks on the glory of the Katha. He talked on the glory of Bhagavan Shri Ramchandra ji, glory of the Rama Nama, glory of the Santa Purushas. All that Tulsi Das ji spoke, now he speaks on the glory of the Katha, Rama Katha. Why Ram Katha is glorious, which we will see tomorrow. Om Shanti 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 Harihi Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha Harihi Om